So when I was growing up, my Christmas movies were like Charlie Brown's Christmas, A Christmas Story, Ernest Saves Christmas, and my personal favorite, The Santa Claus. For some reason, we were like a really big Tim Allen household, which is very weird in retrospect. But turns out, the two most consistently chart-topping Christmas movies the last several years have been Grinch and Polar Express, two extreme opposites of the CG movie spectrum. Polar Express came out in 2004 and was a very loose interpretation of the book from 1985. I say loose because the book itself is like 30 pages long, and this movie's a little under 2 hours, so like they filled in a lot of gaps. Directed by Robert Zemeckis, who around this time had this absolutely bizarre obsession with trying to make hyper-realistic CG movies, which like even today is kind of impossible. You know, you got stuff like Lion King or like the new Mufasa movie or whatever. Like sure, they look kinda real, sorta, but also like who asked for this? You know, I mean, I for one hate Disney movies with whimsical character designs, but back in 2004, I mean, this dude was swinging for the fences. Now, I don't think I've watched this movie since it came out. So for my last Christmas movie of 2024, what do you say we check out The Polar Express? But before that, really quick, this video is brought to you by Surfshark VPN. Surfshark VPN is an app and browser extension that lets you change your IP address to be pretty much anywhere in the world you want. Now, what this means for you is it protects you from websites and other users trying to snoop on what you're doing and from where. Maybe your country has some like weird, strict content censoring laws, or you just don't want people to potentially hack your accounts. Well, Surfshark VPN can help you with all of that, but it also has a lot of very practical day-to-day uses, like allowing you to watch the Netflix libraries from almost any country. Fun fact, Slovakia has by far the highest number of movies and TV shows you can watch, with over 7,400 titles compared to 5,800 in the US. And all you gotta do is just install Surfshark VPN and tell it to put your IP address in Slovakia, and there you go, you have access to an extra 1,600 titles. Or Japan and Taiwan have the biggest anime libraries on Netflix, so using Surfshark VPN, you can have access to all of that. Or in the reverse, if you're traveling away from your country, you want to stay up to date on a certain show you're watching or whatever, you can use Surfshark VPN to put your IP address in your home country, and then wham bam bam, there you go. It's quick and easy to sign up and install, and only costs $2.49 per month with a 2-year subscription. And so it barely costs you anything, really, and gives you access to all of this. And get this, you can use a single subscription on an unlimited number of devices. So let's say you and 4 other family members, y'all want to pitch in on one subscription. That means you get all of this for 50 cents a month. So click my link down below. You're gonna get 4 extra months added to your subscription. So click my link and sign up today. Okay, back to the show.
On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently.
Okay, so fun fact, almost everyone in this movie is Tom Hanks. The main boy, Tom Hanks. The dad, Tom Hanks. Everyone. You yourself might be Tom Hanks right now. Anyway, so this is our main character, who's never named in the movie, and whose soul has been ripped from its flesh prison, I assume. Now, his one and only personality trait is that he doesn't think he believes in all this Santa Claus nonsense, okay? And he feels the need to, like, constantly remind himself of this. I'm sorry, wait. What's this face you're making, kid? Ma Santas, as in plural? Ha! No longer will I be a slave to society's lies. It's like when your parents suddenly give you a really early bedtime, and one day, all of a sudden, a little sister just pops right out, and you're like, well, I sure hope you're proud of yourself, Mom.
Stark, barren, devoid of life.
Just like this movie. So it's Christmas Eve night, but our main character knows that Santa ain't coming. That is, until he hears a super loud noise outside his window. So he runs out to investigate, and you'll never guess what he sees there.
All aboard!
Oh yeah, the train conductor guy is also Tom Hanks, because of course he is.
Well, you coming?
Where?
Why, to the North Pole, of course. This is the Polar Express.
Why are you yelling? One thing about this movie is that every adult is so weird. I don't know what it is about kids' movies, but you go back to like Matilda or Willy Wonka or whatever, and it's like there's just this universal kid experience of adults just being the weirdest dudes of all time. Anyway, so first the kid's like, oh no, I couldn't possibly. And then about 2 seconds later, he's like, okay, fine, and jumps on the train. Now this is where the movie takes a sharp turn into just straight up nightmare territory. Wait, what? Why are you sitting like this? Oh, hey there, new kid. You want to see how long it takes me to chew all my toenails off?
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Do you know what kind of train this is?
Oh! No, stop! I forgot about this kid. Who is the sleep paralysis demon child? So this voice actor is the same guy who was Mandark in Dexter's Lab. And super fun fact, he was arrested in 2022 for breaking into a nursing home. Celebrities, they're just like you.
Train. Do you know what kind of train this is? Well, do ya?
It's a magic train. We're going to the North Pole.
Ah, I know it's a magic train. Actually, it's a Baldwin 284 S3 class Berkshire-type steam locomotive. Built in 1931 as the Baldwin locomotive works, it weighs
Bazinga.
56,100 pounds and has attractive.
Are we really going to the North Pole?
Yeah, okay, kid, don't give me that DreamWorks face. Don't give me that Mean Girls 2 face. Also, you better hope this train's going to the North Pole, or else you just jumped on a random train like an idiot. He just ends up in Detroit for no reason. And so begins the bizarre nightmare adventures of these children.
Boy, that guy sure likes to show off with his ticket punch. Look at that wise guy punched on my ticket. L.E. What the heck does that mean?
Stop 115.44. Edinburgh.
We're heading for the other side of the tracks.
And what exactly do you mean by that, Cthulhu nightmare child? So they pick up this really poor kid with a medieval peasant haircut for some reason, and off they go. Now, pretty soon after the train gets going, the movie just punches us right in the face with one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen. What is happening? This is like the kind of dreams you have when you eat Taco Bell right before bed, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just the deadest of dead faces on these guys. Actually, you know what this reminds me of? It's like when AI tries to make a video about gymnastics. What the? Stop! What the?
You know, Montezuma, the king of the Aztecs, would drink 50 quarts of hot chocolate every day. It was thick as mud and red because he put chili pepper in it instead of sugar. Get it? Hot chocolate.
Now, something else about this movie that they do a lot is they really wanted to show off the 3D camera stuff they could do, because at least half of this movie is stuff like this, where the main kid accidentally loses the girl's ticket, played by Tom Hanks, and it flies through the air in just the most absurdly drawn out, completely unnecessary sequence. You know what this movie feels like? It's like all of the really bad CG parts of Harry Potter Sorcerer's Stone, but that's just the entire movie.
You have lost your ticket.
She didn't lose her ticket. I did. You can have my ticket.
Ah!
These tickets are not transferable.
You will just have to come along with me.
You know what's gonna happen now, don't you? He's gonna throw her off the train. Yeah, he's gonna probably throw her right off the rear platform. It's standard procedure.
Yeah, I don't think that's true, my dude. Could you imagine? No ticket. Now, our main character feels really bad about losing the girl's ticket and getting her sent to the gulag or whatever, so he goes after her by climbing on top of a moving train. There's gotta be an easier way of doing this, kid. But while he's up there, he meets a very interesting fella, played by Tom Hanks.
Is this something I can do for you?
I'm looking for a girl.
A good. Hey, would you like some Joe? Nice, hot refreshment, perfect for a cold winter's night.
Yeah, it's pretty good, eh? It's my own original Jenkum moonshine. Yeah, if the cold don't kill you, this sure will. So they get to talking about Santa Claus, as one does when you meet a strange man who looks like the 0.1% of germs that soap doesn't kill. And the kid tells him that he wants to believe in Santa, but kinda sus.
I want to believe.
But you don't want to be bamboozled. You don't want to be led down the primrose path. You don't want to be conned or duped. Have the wool pulled over your eyes. Hoodwinked. You don't want to be taken for a ride. Railroaded.
Why is this the most terrifying movie I've ever seen? And so, just out of nowhere, he puts out the fire and picks up his bindle, which is just full of children's teeth and fingernails, I assume. And so he grabs the kid and puts on some skis and takes him all the way to the front of the train before it hits the upcoming tunnel.
There's only one trick to this, kid. When I say jump, you jump!
So, turns out this dude is a ghost or something? So, did he die on this train? Or is this a kid who got on and never got off again? This movie's really messed up if you think about it for 5 seconds. But anyway, so in the front of the train is the girl from before.
You? I thought you got thrown off and you're driving a train?
They put me in charge.
Wait a second, you got in trouble for losing your ticket and they promoted you to train driver? The heck kind of operation is this? Approachably attractive people giving you the news you already saw on the internet 8 hours ago. It's the local news. Tonight, 207 people have been turned into slush when a train smashed through their neighborhood, being driven by a child relying solely on her innocence and Christmas spirit. When reached for comment, Santa Claus said, "Get wrecked, nerds."
Stop the train! Stop the train!
They want us to stop the train.
Which one needed the brake?
He told me this was the brake.
Who?
The engineer.
The engineer?
Yes!
So the movie goes on like this for basically the whole time. It's just like one catastrophe after another. They have to avoid caribous, they slide on this like giant ice lake, they ride a roller coaster for some reason. All the other kids on the train are just piles of goo splattered on the windows at this point, I assume. There is this one part where the poor kid sings a song on the back of the train, and like I can't play the scene for you, obviously, because it's YouTube, but the lyrics go, "I'm wishing on a star and trying to believe that even though it's far, he'll find me Christmas Eve. I guess that Santa's busy because he never comes around. I think of him when Christmas comes to town." And like, why you gotta come out with a gut punch like this out of nowhere, Polar Express? I mean, the movie's full of demon children who look like they have jaundice. And then you slip in a scene like this? Who do you think you are? But finally, they get to the North Pole.
There should be elves. Where are the elves?
They are gathering in the center of the city. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas.
Look! Elves!
Oh, no, okay, I'm sorry. I take back everything I said about this kid. This is the most horrifying kid in this movie. What is this? What? How much melatonin did I take last night? This is definitely one of those kids in like 3rd grade who had like 4 sets of teeth growing out of their gums, you know what I mean? But then guess what? It's more shenanigans. Like the main kid, this girl, and then this other kid get stuck on the train car that slides all the way back into Santa's workshop, and they get like a little peek behind the scenes.
Yeah? Uh-huh. Okay. They just finished the last one.
How's it wrapped?
It's wrapped in candy striped red with a number 7 holly green bow.
When we're this close to liftoff, are they my sugar now?
You know, I said this way back in my video about Santa Claus, but there's something profoundly strange about having like a Jewish Christmas elf from Brooklyn. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, so they make their way through the factory. And then they get wrapped up in a giant sack of presents picked up by a Zeppelin, played by Tom Hanks, and put back in front of the Christmas tree.
You may start your descent at any time now. At your convenience, of course.
It sounds like a fart.
Anyway, so after all this nonsense, Santa Claus comes out like Hulk Hogan for some reason. And while all this is going on, the other kids are talking about how amazing the sleigh bells sound. The reindeer are jumping around and everyone's like, wow! But our main kid over here can't hear anything.
Aren't those bells the most beautiful sound?
Now, due to budget cuts and team downsizing, even though they always seem to be advertising open positions on job websites, but sure, okay, the sleigh bells are in slight disrepair. One of them breaks off and lands in front of our little dude man, and he picks it up.
I believe.
Oh, Christmas is saved! And so Santa kind of walks the line and talks to each kid for a little bit.
Keep up the good work. And Billy. It is Billy.
Oh yeah, sorry I haven't been to your house ever, kid. I plan my routes out based on children's parents' economic status, so, you know, maybe if your dad didn't drink so much, I'd finally make it one of these years. You know what I'm saying? And so finally it's time for Santa to hand out the first gift of Christmas, which is a big deal, apparently.
And speaking of gifts, let's have this young fellow right here.
What? No way. And so the main kid gets picked up and mercilessly dragged in front of the crowd, and it's time for him to fully believe in Santa, or whatever this movie's about. All right, kid, here's a June 1978 Hustler magazine and half a pack of Virginia Slims I found in my couch cushions. So Santa asks him what he wants for Christmas, and the kid tells him that he wants to keep the bell he found. And then Santa's like, you sure you don't want these Hooters gift cards? I got so many, kid. And so after all of this, the kids go back to the train while all the elves do the most emotionless, soulless dancing you've ever seen.
Come on, show us the bell.
Yeah, let's see the bell.
And so, dejected, hating himself, cursing the heavens, our main character gets dropped off at his house and says goodbye to everyone, even the creepy, scary train conductor guy. And the next morning is Christmas. And after playing with whatever hellish monstrosity this is, he finds one last present under the tree. By Tom Hanks. And then the parents show up and are somehow not freaking out that there's this present under the tree that like no one put there. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of the movie.
At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell. But as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me.
And that's more or less The Polar Express. Still a classic for whatever reason. I will say though, for how utterly terrifying this movie is, the music is phenomenal. I mean, sure, it's the same song rearranged about 400 times, but still, great music. The movie's like 80% filler, padding nonsense. Like, how could so many things happen in the span of 20 minutes? But I mean, it does have a magical whimsy quality to it that still kind of holds up. Except these kids, okay? Because this was a mistake. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please watch another one, because that's how the algorithm works. So click on this one that's being recommended to you right now, right here on the screen. It actually helps a lot if you do that, because like that's how YouTube knows that my videos are worth caring about. Also, if you have any movies or TV shows you'd like to recommend, send me an email at alexmeyerscontact@gmail.com, and I'll put them on my absurdly long list of movies that I need to get to at some point. Anyway, hope I made your day a little bit better, and I'll see you all next time.